So, everyone's favorite day to start fresh is right around the corner, and I'll bet a lot of you watching are getting ready for a complete life overhaul because it's New Year's Eve and that's just what we do, right? Now, maybe you have a few drinks, and of course, you eat lots of delicious food since it's your last chance to eat all of your favorites before you begin your strict new diet the next morning on January 1st, a diet that you vow to never, ever cheat on, at least until you reach your big goal, and then somehow you just magically stay there. Now, it's a common day for so many who are fed up with the 2020 version of you to vow to make big changes so you can have a brand new you in 2021. And according to the internet stats I found, some of you will actually follow through. So the stats that I read show that 64% of people are still following through with the resolution after the first month, which means only around 36% of those making resolutions will fall off sometime in January, usually within the first 2 weeks. Now, that number of people who stick with the resolution drops to 46% by the 6-month mark. So 46% of people are still maintaining the habits that they need to in order to reach their goals at the 6-month mark. Now, when it comes to actually reaching your goal, unfortunately, the older you are, the less likely you are to reach your goals, since only 14% of those in their 50s even end up reaching the goals that they set for themselves. Now, as a yo-yo dieter for more than 2 decades, I can look back and take a guess at the reason more than half of the people who get started with a big resolution never even make it to that 6-month mark. And like I just mentioned, it's because we all want to start the new year fresh with some pretty big and lofty goals. And those big, lofty goals can lead to you getting stuck pretty quickly. Now, when it comes to losing weight and actually keeping off what you lose, this all starts out with putting a strategy in place. And if you're in this group or you're watching this video, the strategy that you've chosen is likely some type of a low-carb lifestyle, be it just cutting carbs below 25 per meal or following a stricter keto plan by eating less than 25 carbs per day, or maybe you're even more advanced and you've added some intermittent fasting into the mix. But once you've researched your strategy and you start putting it into place, weight loss becomes less about strategy that you follow and more about the habits you form in order to continue following that strategy. Now, it's pretty simple. You need to choose your strategy, you have to research it, make sure you get it down, and then after you get that part done, you have to actually find success with keto or low carb by using habits, not just the strategy, but you have to form habits to make weight loss come easier, not only those first 2 weeks, but even after that. And those habits, the strategy is what gets you started, but the habits is actually what brings you the results. Now, I do have a habit worksheet that I put together specifically for this video, so if you want access to that, let me know in the comments. But we'll get more into that worksheet in just a minute. Okay, so in our case, the strategy is a keto lifestyle. And since we're all at different points in our journeys, the strategies that you use in your low carb lifestyle is probably different than anyone else watching, since no one diet is really right for everyone. So for someone who's just getting started out, your initial strategy should be to follow a low carb plan. And if you're just getting started, that's the plan that I typically recommend starting with so you don't overwhelm your body, get super frustrated when you can't stick to a more advanced keto plan for any more than a few days to a week. And then you just say, screw it, I miss nachos, I'm giving up. You don't want to do that. So if you're not exactly sure how to get started with a low carb plan, we do break it down for you on tomorrow's episode of Chat the Fat, so make sure you tune in. Now, I also did a live video a few weeks ago in the group that talked about getting started with low carb, and I even put together an easy plan together so you can get started. So if you want that easy plan, just let me know in the comments and I'll send it right over to you. Right now, the more right information that you can learn to inspire a solid start, the better. So take full advantage of all of the resources that I talk about during these videos. And don't be shy about asking questions in this group. I don't bite, I promise. In fact, I've had some pretty major dental work recently that would make biting kind of difficult. So ask questions. I'm here to help. Now, if you're already past the low carb stage and you're ready to take your keto lifestyle to the next level, so maybe you're working on lowering carbs to only 20 to 30 per day instead of 20 to 30 per meal, then this makes getting into ketosis with a very low carb, very high fat plan your strategy. And like I said, you might even be ready to take your keto lifestyle to the next level and take advantage of adding in an easy intermittent fasting routine. And if you're already fat adapted and following keto the right way, this is really an amazing combo that you can use to ramp up results. And while these are all great strategies you can use to take your weight loss progress to the next level, just don't jump into all of them at the same time, because that's really one of the biggest mistakes a lot of dieters make, especially this time of year when it's completely trendy to just completely overhaul and transform your life. Now we have the Ready Set Keto roadmap in our Keto Decoded membership to set our members up for long-term success. We don't want you to follow just another quick fix plan that turns your life completely upside down. And yes, you can get some results when you turn your life completely upside down for a diet, but you'll be miserable, and the results that you get, that you've worked so hard to get, actually won't last. So following that all or nothing, combine all of the strategies you can fit into your day approach is basically one of the quickest ways to end up in that 86% of people who never reach their goals. Now I know, I get it. You want the weight that you gained off yesterday, or you want to improve the health problems that you've been dealing with for decades by tomorrow. But just know that you've tried that approach before to get it all done as quickly as possible, and it probably didn't work out for you. And that's because it's not really an approach that works that well. You can research and combine all of the strategies you want, but if you're not actually following through with the daily habits it takes to accomplish your goals, you're pretty much not going to get anywhere. You'll just be spinning your wheels. Or you could end up in those 64% of people who make it through the first month because you are buttoned down, you are white knuckling your way through a diet that's so hard to stick to because it has so many rules, and you just find yourself so hungry, you have constant cravings, and it just doesn't work. So very soon you'll white knuckle your way through some results, but you won't be able to stick to it because it's too hard on your body physiologically. Let me ask you a question. How will you set yourself up to be in the 14% of those who actually reach their goals if you're constantly white knuckling your way through life month after month? That's why a lot of people don't ever reach their goals, because they're using diets that aren't right for them, they're not right for their chemistries, or they haven't set themselves up to follow the diet they want. And I have even more bad news. That's just when it comes to reaching your goal. So what about when it comes to actually maintaining the weight that you do lose? Because that's a whole new set of statistics entirely. And according to the stats, they don't look good. More than 95% of us are set up to fail when it comes to maintaining any large amount of weight that you do lose. Now, I've been in my goal range for going on 5 years, and I can attest while it's far easier to stay in that goal range with a keto lifestyle, it's still not easy. When you lose a large amount of weight like I have, or even if you lose a smaller amount of weight where maybe you only want to lose 10 or 20 pounds, you are fighting against your body. Your body's main goal in life is to survive. And in the past, having extra stored fat made it easier for you to survive long winters and famines where food just wasn't readily available. So it's your body's mission to hold on to the stored fat that you want to lose. And once you do lose it, your physiology is working against you because your body wants to get back to the set weight where it feels comfortable. So your body will fight you as hard as it can to get back to that weight that you probably don't want to be at. Now, unfortunately, most of us watching don't want to stay at the set weight our bodies prefer. So, this weight loss thing, it's a battle. It's a battle when you're losing the weight. And the bad news is, it's still a battle once you've reached your goal. And that's why weight loss is not a destination. You need to stop looking at it like it is a destination and start looking at it like a never ending journey where you're always seeking to improve your health. All right, my mission here today isn't to be all gloom and doom and tell you how hard the battle is because you've been there, you know. I don't want to tell you how hard it will be once you finally reach your goal. It will take work, but you can do it. I know you can. So my goal here is to help give you tips and strategies to help make all of this so much easier for you. So the theme of today's video is how just 15 minutes each day can actually change your life. And the reason 15 minutes each day can change your life is that's the length of time you need each day to put one new habit into place. And that's the time that you need to get really good at just one new habit. And I'm not saying to do one new habit every day because that will make you crazy, but take those 15 minutes to work on your established habit first thing in the day. Now, if you want to stick to the goals that you've set for yourself in 2021, don't make the mistake most dieters make and jump all in by completely transforming your life and attempt to perform a complete life overhaul. No matter how good you think your mindset is or how strong you are to make these big life changes, that strategy just doesn't work. And that's why so many people never make it to their goals. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that you can use 15 minutes each day to help you inch closer to your goals. And I know, I get it. I absolutely understand that no one wants to slowly inch closer to their big goals that they have set for themselves with all of these big promises on the TV, on the computer, on social media. Everyone is giving you these big promises of crushing your goals by month one, losing a ton of weight by next week. But all of these weight loss miracle plans and all of their big promises never seem to work out in your favor. They flash all of these success stories from people who crushed their goals in a short amount of time. And in case you haven't realized it yet, those stories, they're not real. And even if some of them have a shred of truth to them, those people who are getting those kind of results are miserable while they're getting them. They're constantly thinking about food, and then they regain everything they worked hard to lose as soon as the overly restrictive plans that they're following become too difficult. And that's why using this 15-minute strategy to help you chip away at your bigger goal actually works. Because committing to changing just 15 minutes of your day instead of trying to completely overhaul your entire life starting this Friday, January 1st, is a much easier strategy to stick with. It's only 15 minutes, and just like that, you've done something big to help you move closer to your ultimate goal. Of course, I'm not saying that you won't have to make better choices throughout the day because those minutes still count too. But work on something for those first 15 minutes of the day, something that will give you a big win at the very beginning of the day to make the rest of the day flow much more smoothly. You want to get a big win so you have success early in the day, and that is going to motivate you to keep working towards your goal for the rest of the day. Now, when you start seeing results from changing up the first 15 minutes that you are awake, and you start having at least a little bit of success, you will start to enjoy the changes that you're making. And eventually, you won't see them as changes at all because they just become your daily habits. Now, when you start making these changes one by one, you'll start to notice your body changing, and you'll also notice your mindset changing. And this will lead to your whole life changing one small habit at a time. And that will make you want to make the most of the next 15 minutes each day. And the success just kind of snowballs. You start with the first 15 minutes of success. Once you get that down, then your next 15 minutes, you're not going to want to ruin what you just did. So you just keep going, and it builds up to a snowball effect of successes throughout the days. And having successful days lead to successful weeks, which lead to successful months, and eventually you'll hit your goal. Now you start building on these good habits each day and living a healthy lifestyle. Eventually, it just becomes easy because you're slowly changing. You're changing the bad habits that took years to form, but instead of just expecting them all to change overnight, you're allowing yourself time to change them instead of just trying to drop every bad habit you've picked up over the years overnight. Now, instead of rushing the process and trying to undo bad habits that took years to form, you're being patient with yourself and you're focusing on getting rid of one bad habit at a time, but not only getting rid of one bad habit, you're forcing your bad habits out by replacing them with better habits. And that's really the key here. So, what are some of the things that you could focus on for 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes of your day, to help push you closer towards your goal? Now, first of all, if you are looking at me like I'm nuts because every minute of your morning is accounted for, if you're busy in the mornings, I have kids, I get it, then you need to try harder and maybe you need to set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier, which means you need to go to bed earlier. It's all kind of like a big cycle that you need to get down. Now, you need to make time for your priorities. Otherwise, they're not really all that important to you. And if that's the case, why bother pretending that losing weight is actually your priority in the first place? You'll be wasting your efforts with a mindset when it's half in and half out. So when you wake up 15 minutes earlier, already know the habit that you're going to work on as your first goal of the day, so you're ready to just jump into it instead of wasting time trying to figure out what to work on. Now, the goal obviously is going to be different for everyone depending on where you are and what you want to change. So for some people, maybe you're not great when it comes to exercising. Either you just don't want to do it, or you always seem to run out of time and it always gets put off until tomorrow. So if you commit those first 15 minutes, you're awake with exercise being your priority, then you'll get it knocked out first thing in the morning and you've already had a big win for the day. And while 15 minutes maybe doesn't seem like a lot of time for exercise, if you're brand new or if you're just getting started again, 15 minutes is really all you need. Plus, once you start those 15 minutes and you get your body moving, maybe you'll start to feel good, like a lot of us do, and you'll just want to keep going. Now, for others, those important 15 minutes might be better spent on another habit, maybe planning out what you'll eat for that day. So if you take 15 minutes to pre-log your food in your food app on your phone, or if you write it in a journal, however you do it, take 15 minutes to write down what you plan to eat that day. And taking those 15 minutes can be a great way to set yourself up for success. Now, I know even if you plan ahead, things happen and you might not always be able to stick with your plan. But even if you deviate just a little, it's always better to go in with a plan that maybe you need to tweak throughout the day rather than wasting constant brain calories trying to figure out what to eat next that will fit into your plan. Because throughout the day, you get decision fatigue. And once that starts to add up, that's when you start making bad choices. So if you have a plan already laid out for you, then it's really much easier to stay on track. Now, maybe you can spend 15 minutes looking for new recipes to test out so you don't get bored with a low-carb plan, because that's pretty common. You can spend 15 minutes watching some of the videos in this group to help educate yourself around the lifestyle, or even just to help inspire you to have a better day. Maybe seeing my smiling face first thing in the morning will help make your day better. You might even just take 15 minutes to do nothing, as in taking the first 15 minutes of your day to calm your mind and meditate. A lot of people, they just need to start fresh and tune everything out first thing in the morning to set themselves up for a more successful day. So I put together a cheat sheet with some really awesome habits that you can form in your 15 minutes per day. Now, all of them are necessarily right to follow first thing in the morning, but they are habits that will help push you closer to your goal. So I definitely recommend getting the list and taking a look at it and picking just one. You don't want to overwhelm yourself by trying to do, I think there's like 10 habits on there. You don't want to do all 10 at once, because then you'll get frustrated, you'll give up, and you'll be at square one. But pick one habit that you can focus on for 15 minutes every single day. Once you get that down, check back in with the list, and then you can pick another one. And these are all habits that we teach in our membership, all habits that help push our members closer to their goals. So definitely habits that you'll want to check out. If you want that habit list, just send me a message or comment on this video, and I will send you a DM with that checklist. But I also want you to promise to let me know which habit you chose, because I want to help, and I'm just kind of nosy. I just want to know what people are doing to change their lives. I know that we've still got a few more days until 2021, and maybe you still have that Monday mentality where you're just going to wait for the new year to get started. But my challenge to you is to get started today. Quitting that Monday mindset where you're going to start your new diet on Monday can really be helpful. So if you just start with changing 15 minutes of your day today, don't even wait till tomorrow. Find 15 minutes today to spend working on your new habit. You can pick from the list. Start working on it today, and then start your day off for the rest of the week with this new habit. And I guarantee when you just use 15 minutes a day to focus on your number one priority, then you will do amazing things in 2021. And of course, if you really want to change your life in 2021, start off the year right with our keto challenge. It's kicking off on January 18th. That's just a few weeks away. It's a really great time to build the momentum you need when it comes to working toward the big goals that you set for yourself. Now, our Keto Dakota members challenge for free, and I know a lot of them are excited to get back to it because of the motivation and the momentum they build during the challenge that helps push them closer to their goals. Mostly because it's an amazing support group. It really is 3 weeks of amazing support, not only from me and TC, we go live in the group a lot, we answer everyone's questions, but also each other. It's a great support system to lean on each other and get answers to questions that you didn't even know you had. So if you miss out on the keto challenge, I'm telling you, you are missing out on a lot. And the reason I'm bringing this up a few weeks out is because now is the time to start getting prepped. There is a $500 prize involved. I know 2 of the top 3 people last time didn't even think they had a chance. So if you think that you don't have a chance, you just never know. So you can get started now with my keto challenge prep tips at eatingfatisthenewskinny.com/challenge list. And I see Paula and Marianne. Hi, thanks for watching. I see that you want that habit list. It's really a great list, so I will be sure to send that right over to you. Of course, if you didn't watch a few weeks ago and you still want that low carb guide about how to get started with low carb in the first place, let me know that as well. I could send that over to you as well. But that's really all I have for you this week. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, show me some love in the comments. Give the video some hearts so other people can see it. And I want to keep coming back here to motivate you every single Monday because I want you to stay on track when it comes to reaching your goals this year. So I will be back next Monday, same healthy fat time, same healthy fat channel.